Saints Peter and Paul Catholic Church is a vibrant community that dates back to 1856. For 160 years, our church has been ministering to the needs of the Collinsville community. And while facilities and faces have changed over the years, one thing remains the same: our commitment to Christ, to one another, and to the betterment of our community. Our church today is an active community comprised of over 1,350 households. Led by a dedicated pastor and staff and a strong core of lay leaders and volunteers, there is an increasing number of ways that people of all ages can participate in the spiritual, educational, social, and service ministries of our church. Yet despite our strong heritage of activity and accomplishment, some significant challenges still remain. In 2009, we launched the We Must, We Can, We Will campaign to complete Phase 1 of our master plan for facilities. Gifts to this campaign enabled us to complete some significant planned improvements. Our school received air conditioning, asbestos abatement, renovated bathrooms, security upgrades, and a new playground with landscaping and fencing. We painted the parish center cafeteria and installed a new ceiling, and the gym received a new heating unit, new lighting, and roof repair. Our church received new lighting too, along with some needed maintenance. In 2012, we had a minor setback when we learned we needed to replace our church roof. We took care of it and also launched our second campaign, Future Generations Now. Gifts to that campaign enabled us to replace the sound system and lighting controls in the church and to set aside nearly $2.5 million, just over half of the estimated cost to complete Phase 2 of our master plan. This allowed us to get approval from the Springfield Diocese to move forward with our project, which addresses the following needs. We saw that many of our buildings or parts of them remain inaccessible to anyone physically challenged, and that we didn't have a space adequate for offering hospitality or gathering before or after Masses. When the highway expansion eliminated parking in front of our church, more people began entering and leaving the church from the side doors. This doesn't help build community as people come and go their separate ways. We also lost the use of the front doors for funerals and weddings, and these were the only doors with a good drop-off area. With few handicap parking spaces near our other entrances, getting to and from the church has become more challenging for some of our members. Stairs are the only way to get to the basement. This limits the 3 basement meeting rooms to activities that don't or can't involve the physically challenged. The gym and the cafeteria in the parish center aren't handicap accessible either, nor are they connected to the church. This limits who can participate in activities there and also makes them a poor choice for offering hospitality after Mass. Besides being inaccessible, our gym lacks air conditioning and therefore doesn't get used at all in the summertime. It also needs a new sound system. Combined, these limit our ability to offer our parish and community a comfortable space for casual fellowship events or summertime sports activities. A fellowship hall suitable for funeral gatherings, wedding receptions, and other parish ministry and social functions was a critical need identified in our master plan. Neither the gym nor the cafeteria offer the space or the atmosphere suitable for these types of activities. Our parish office was located in a building that needed major renovation to be compatible with today's technology, security, and accessibility standards. The building's design and the asbestos materials used to construct it made renovating it a very expensive proposition, and the resulting offices still would not have had the efficiency and security features required in today's world. We saw that our church interior also needed improvements to make it more energy efficient, attractive, and in line with current standards for church design. We've replaced the roof, but signs of the previous water damage are still evident and need painting. In fact, the entire interior of the church hasn't been painted in 30 years and needs to be refreshed. Church doors that open to the outside were designed and installed long before energy efficiency was an economic or environmental concern. Their inefficiencies negatively impact both the comfort of worshipers and our utility bills. We have a hot tub for a baptismal font. While it's certainly effective, it reflects neither the sanctity nor the mystery of this holy rite of initiation into Christ's holy church. Like the baptismal font, the ambo doesn't appropriately reflect its important role in Catholic liturgy. To conform with current liturgical design, our altar railing needs to be modified so as not to stand as a visual barrier between the congregation and the altar. Finally, we saw that parking has become an issue and more of a challenge with the expansion of Highway 159 and needs to be addressed. To address these needs, our Master Plan Committee put together an exciting plan for Phase 2 and beyond that includes an expansive addition to hold a gathering place, new parish offices, and a fellowship hall, renovated meeting rooms and restrooms on the church's lower level with elevator access, improvements to our church interior, upgrades to our parish center gym, and expanded parking between the church and the parish center. On April 24, we broke ground for an addition to the south side of our church building. The new structure will replace our courtyard and irreparable office building with a new gathering space, parish office, and fellowship hall. On the main level, new doors will open from our worship space into a substantial gathering space where people can meet and visit before Mass and other functions. A small kitchen area for offering hospitality will help us offer a warm welcome to visitors and will encourage members to visit after Mass. Handicap-accessible restrooms will better accommodate our guests and parishioners. The main level will also house our new parish office. It will have a lobby and receptionist area, a conference room, and an open office design to make the best use of space, improve productivity, and reduce energy costs. Its highly visible location will better serve parishioners, visitors, and staff, and the receptionist area will allow us to staff the office during weekend masses. The main entrance to the new addition will be at the south end of the building. There, a circular drive leading to a covered entry and a large vestibule will make it easy to drop off and pick up family members before and after Mass and other parish activities. A prominent feature of the new addition will be our new fellowship hall on the lower level. Demolishing the old office building allowed us to excavate below it to create space for a large multi-purpose room with seating for up to 250 people. With a large catering kitchen, serving counter, wheelchair-accessible restrooms, and storage, this new space will offer an attractive and inviting atmosphere for funeral luncheons, wedding receptions, and other parish and social functions. Our new addition will also have an elevator that will give everyone easy access to the lower level. To complement our new addition, we'll make a number of upgrades to our church that will improve its functionality, accessibility, attractiveness, and energy efficiency. With the new elevator, the lower level rooms in the church will be accessible to accommodate meeting space, a bride's room, and the nursery. We'll freshen them up and also upgrade the restrooms located there, making them more accessible and welcoming. On the upper level, the church interior will get needed repairs and updating of liturgical fitments. We'll repair and repaint the walls and ceiling as needed to remove unsightly water damage. To improve energy efficiency, we'll weatherproof the east doors and replace other entrance doors with those that are more energy efficient. And since we need to modify our worship space anyway, we'll take this opportunity to finally upgrade to a real baptismal font and install a permanent ambo. To complete our goal of making our facilities more attractive and welcoming for parishioners and visitors, we plan to make the parish center gym more accessible and usable year-round. We'll modify the entrance with a ramp so that everyone has access, and we'll equip the gym with air conditioning, enabling us to use it year-round for sports, social, and fundraising activities. Finally, to improve parking for parishioners, we'll change parallel parking to diagonal parking on the north side of the church, almost doubling the number of parking spaces there. On the south side, we'll realign the parking spaces there for traffic flow and efficient use of the space, and new striping and new surrounding fencing will be installed to beautify our campus. To address our needs and plans, we are initiating an intensive fundraising effort titled the Growing, Living, Building Together campaign. Our aim with this important effort is to grow our spiritual home by raising the funds required to complete the renovations and expansion of our facilities with minimal debt. Our minimum goal is $2 million, which will minimize any debt we may need to take on to complete the project, and reaching $2,500,000 will enable us to complete our planned construction and renovations with no long-term debt. In order to reach our financial objectives, we will need both a substantial number of givers and a few fairly substantial gifts. So all members are asked to consider gifts above and beyond what they give in their regular offerings and other contributions toward this special campaign. And there's a variety of ways that gifts can be made. Long-term subscriptions or pledges payable over 3 years are easier for most and essential to meeting our goal, since it would be impractical, if not impossible, to reach our objectives with one-time out-of-pocket gifts. Gifts may be made in monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, or annual installments at the donor's discretion, and a 10% initial investment toward your total pledge is encouraged. Non-cash gifts are an additional or alternative way you can support our cause. You may wish, for example, to consider gifts in kind, such as labor and materials, gifts of securities, such as stocks and bonds, gifts of real estate, such as land, homes, vacation and rental properties, or even personal property, such as artwork, automobiles, jewelry, and antiques. And finally, you can also choose to support our efforts through deferred gifts. These are gifts that can be given or arranged for now but will not be received until later, and include gifts through a person's will by bequest, gifts of life insurance policies or annuities, and trust arrangements. There are also a number of very special gift opportunities available to donors of qualifying gift amounts. These opportunities allow people the unique chance to designate their gifts to a particular part of the project and dedicate them in honor or memory of those they choose. Donors of specific items or areas will have their names and/or the names of those they are honoring with their gifts inscribed directly on the item given or on special plaques or nameplates placed on or near the item where appropriate. These naming rights will extend for up to 20 years once payment for the item is fully received. Additionally, all donors, regardless of the size of their gift, will have their names listed in a special bulletin insert announcing campaign results, as well as on a special donor wall or donor book that will be displayed in a prominent and visible place within our facilities. But whatever the gift or method of making it may be, please be assured that your support is both urgently needed and will be greatly appreciated. Through the generous, prayerful, volunteer, and financial support of many, and the extraordinary support of a few, we believe that we can succeed in our task. As a result, we are also confident of our continued growth as a community of faith and in our ability to do even better God's will and works. Won't you please join us in this exciting and essential effort to better our service to one another, to our community, and to Christ?